Hello, hello. Welcome to this webinar from Sphere. I'm Louise Lee, and I'm an expert leadership and life coach. As one of the original guides here on Sphere, I have over 15 years experience of leading and developing teams in large organizations across industries that include finance, travel, tech and digital agencies, and government work. I'm also a big supporter of the difference and impact great coaching can have on your life. Not only have I experienced that for myself, which I'll tell you a little bit more about in a minute, but I've seen it time and time again for each of my clients and seekers over the years I have been coaching and helping others. I am super excited to take you through the next 15 minutes or so and explore what leadership coaching is and whether it's right for you. The fact that you showed up here on this webinar today says a lot about you and your thirst for knowledge, learning, and growth. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to share this good stuff with you. There's only so much I'm able to share with you in today's session. And if you're interested in learning more, I'll tell you how to do that later on. But first, I want to tell you something. It was about 14 years ago, and I'd just been promoted to become head of department at one of the UK's largest utilities companies. Here I was, female, a visible minority, and relatively young, and smack bang inside a hugely male-dominated company. I was inheriting a team of over 60 people who were older than me, more experienced than me, and who were involved in a complex, heavily regulated part of a public-facing company that I knew very little about. When I first got that promotion, I was convinced that they would somehow find out that I didn't belong in that role. I spent hours and hours trying to learn all the jargon and all the regulations. I was in meeting after meeting, trying to understand all the moving parts, and I was making key decisions about a multi-million-dollar departmental budget. Plus, I had 60 people all looking to me for the answers. I was so stressed that I started not to be able to sleep. I would wake up night after night in like a cold sweat with adrenaline and anxiety just coursing through my veins. I was convinced that they were going to fire me without a moment's notice. I basically had huge imposter syndrome. And that's when I hit rock bottom and realized I needed help. So I got myself a coach with some serious leadership support. And through working with my coach, we tackled all the fires first, such as how to gain trust and respect from a new team. Then we revealed who I truly was as a leader. And I learned how to have the confidence and the courage to start showing up that way. I learned how to bridge communication gaps between departments and stakeholders that ended up saving the company millions of dollars in fines. And I learned how to bring a dysfunctional team together and to increase satisfaction, efficiency, psychological safety, and fun. So I want you to know that I know what it's like to feel like you are a total and complete failure when it comes to leadership. If you can relate to any part of my story at all, let me know in the chat what connected with you. And speaking of the chat, if you have any questions about anything we talk about on today's webinar, please add that into the chat too, and a member of the Sphere team will respond to you. You'll also see a few pop-ups in the chat, such as polls and questions. Please answer them as well as we go along. So, what are you going to get from our time together today? Well, in the next 15 minutes or so, I'll cover what leadership coaching is, whether it's right for you, and what you can expect if you choose to go forward here on Sphere with your own leadership coach. As you know, this session is interactive, and I'll be asking you to type things in there as we go along. Also, if you haven't already, grab your favorite notebook or journal and your favorite pen or pencil, because you'll be doing some writing as well. Speaking of which, here is the first question I officially want you to answer in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 7, how focused do you intend to be with me here today on this webinar? How focused do you intend to be with me on this webinar today? So 1 is it is chaos where you are. The kids are screaming, the animals are yelping, the oven's beeping, and you're just here for the background noise, quite frankly, whilst you juggle emails, hot saucepans, and a fidgety toddler. 7, on the other hand, is say the door is shut. You've got your noise cancelling headphones on. You've closed all the other apps and windows on your device. You're looking at me. You've got your pen and paper, and you are ready. Whatever your number is, write it into the chat. I actually don't mind what the number is, believe it or not. I don't mind. I really don't. But whatever that number is for you, I want you now to make one change in your environment right now that will allow you to hit the number you wrote in the chat. So make that one change right now. It could be putting your phone away. It could be putting it on Do Not Disturb. It could be even just closing that door. Okay, so let's get into it. You might be thinking, well, what is leadership and life coaching? Well, let's see if you recognize any of these feelings. And if you identify yourself in any of these scenarios, let us know in the chat. Some of these are from my own personal experience, but many are actually also from my clients. Have you ever felt as though you don't deserve your latest promotion into your leadership role? Have you ever felt as though you've got the weight of your team's success on your shoulders and that you always have to have the answer to any and all problems that come up? Have you ever felt as though you keep second guessing your decisions and that you actually sometimes avoid making them or even addressing issues so that you don't end up doing the wrong thing? Have you ever wanted to get promoted into a leadership role, but you're actually not sure how to get there? Have you ever felt lonely in leadership and wish you had someone to help you improve the way you communicate, influence, give bad news or negative feedback, and not jeopardize your relationship with the person you're giving bad news to? Well, if you identify with any of those things, leadership coaching is for you. Working with a leadership and life coach allows you to not only level up key leadership skills, such as how to have tough conversations, political savviness, self-management, setting boundaries. It also allows you to explore who you really are, both as a leader and as a whole and complete person. After all, you do not want to pretend to be someone else at work. You already know how that feels, and it ain't good. When you work with a great leadership and life coach, you work on yourself personally as well as professionally, because here is a little secret. Are you ready? This is the secret. You can't grow yourself professionally unless you grow yourself personally. Working with a coach allows you to build what I call your personal foundation. This includes figuring out who you are at your very best, what's important to you and why, your identity, your purpose, your vision, and your values and your needs. When you reveal what those are for you, your boundaries start to strengthen and your standards start to go up. Doesn't that sound good? If that's what you want, give me a "that's what I want" in the chat. Type it right now. That's what I want. We also explore what's keeping you where you are. Because let's be honest, if you knew it all, you would be doing it already. But the fact that you are here today tells me that you want more and you're curious about what coaching could do for you. So we look at things like stories and beliefs that you might not even know you were carrying around in your life. We uncover your blind spots. You learn new skills and you build on and develop your strengths to a whole new level. Sounds even better, right? And don't worry if you're thinking, but I don't have much experience as a leader, Louise. Is leadership coaching really for me? Leadership isn't about a role at work or a job title. It's not like that makeup brand where maybe you're born with it. No. And what? You're hooped if you're not flying into the delivery room with outstanding people skills and visionary ideas? No. Leadership is not something you're either born with or not. Leadership is a learned skill that can be honed and sharpened. It's a science, but it's also an art. And it's about how you choose to show up in your life, at work, but also at home with your friends and family and in your communities. So what else do you get out of working with your very own leadership coach? Well, when you work with a leadership coach, you set realistic goals for what you want to achieve and what that next level of leadership success looks like for you. This could be getting to grips with leading a team for the first time and navigating through how to deal with setting vision and inspiring engagement. Or perhaps you're already an experienced leader, but you're finding yourself hitting the same hurdles again and again, and you want to know how to break through that ceiling. Maybe you want to get better at negotiating and influencing key stakeholders, or managing underperforming team members, or delegating to others. Perhaps you want to know how to have tough conversations, how to set expectations and boundaries, and how to create positive growth and impact. Or maybe you want to improve your own emotional regulation and how you self-manage yourself and things like your time, your energy, your sanity, and all the important areas of your life. Whatever it is for you, working with a coach allows you to focus on what's important to you and to see things in a completely different way, which then allows you to take tangible and attainable steps to get you where you want to go. We work on amplifying your strengths and allowing you to bring more of your authentic self to the workplace in a way that is sustainable, effective, and impactful. So take a moment right now to answer this question in the chat. The question is this: when you think about your current leadership abilities, what comes up for you? Here's another question for you to answer in the chat. If you could improve one thing about how you show up as a leader, what would that be? It could be being more confident, speaking up more, role modeling your values to inspire and motivate others, or finally challenging that imposter syndrome you've been feeling for a while now. These are the kind of things that when you work with a coach, you can really dig deep into what is blocking you from scaling and then accelerate your personal and professional development and get even greater results. So what does working with a coach look like logistically? Well, as with most things, the more you invest, time, effort, commitment, money, the more you'll get out of it. If you're the kind of person who wants results quickly, meet with your coach every week. You'll get into a nice rhythm, you'll get powerful insights regularly, and you'll build momentum and accountability fast. If you're happier with slower results and taking your time, meet with your coach every other week or once every 3 to 4 weeks. It's really up to you. You get to decide what works best for you, and that also includes things like accountability. In fact, if accountability is something you want or need more of in your life, write in the chat, yes to accountability. And if you want more accountability, here are 3 questions for you to think about right now. You can answer them in the chat or you can write them down in your notebook. The first question is, how do you hold yourself accountable right now? The second question is, how do you want to hold yourself accountable? And the third question is, what does accountability look like to you? One of my seekers came to me because she felt dissatisfied at work and it was causing her to resent it. She wanted a promotion, but she didn't know what else to do when it came to getting recognized for the value she added. She had this huge fear of failure, and she didn't want to rock the boat at work either. And even though she was good at helping her team be accountable, she couldn't say the same about herself being accountable to herself. All of this meant that she was limiting how she showed up at work and at home. What she discovered through working with me as her coach was that part of her desire for a promotion came from a fear of not having enough money for her family. And it also stemmed from actually her not sharing her deepest concerns at home with her partner. And I'll give you a hint. When we finally did the work, it wasn't actually about money. Deep down, she didn't actually think she was worthy of more money, more success, more creativity, and more love. So she was self-sabotaging herself at every corner. We met every week for over 6 months, and she was a fantastic seeker. She showed up each week. She held herself accountable within that safety of the space we created. And as a result, she got clear on what was important to her, who she truly was as a leader, a mother, a wife, a human, and what she was truly capable of. She totally embraced all of her superpowers. It was so exciting. From that space, we coached on how to successfully negotiate with her executives, how to make a greater impact with both her team and her customers, how to manage up, and how to execute on projects and plans with high quality results. Not only did this seeker end up getting that promotion and pay rise, but she stepped up and launched successful new initiatives with her team that were more aligned with their strengths and values and made a huge difference to her customers. And her new level of integrity and accountability inspired her team to step it up as well. The feedback she got from them and her executives were astounding, and she also helped increase the company's bottom line. Plus, that ain't it. Her home life became even more peaceful, open, and loving, with even better communication between her and her husband. And get this kind of surprised even me. Even her husband landed a new job with an increased salary during the time she and I worked together. I mean, oh my God, ripple effects? I don't know, but I know that it was win, 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 win. So ask yourself this: who are you at your very best? And what if you were able to show up that way every single day? And if you worked with your own coach, what might be possible for you? We're almost at the end of our time together today. So let me know in the chat what your favorite takeaway was from this session. Thank you for showing up today. You've already taken the first step towards getting what you really want in life, and you have got nothing to lose and everything to gain. I hope now you feel more confident in what leadership coaching is and whether it's right for you and what it might look like if you were to work with one here on the Sphere platform. My name is Louise, and if you are ready to take the next step to your next level of leadership greatness, get on Sphere now and book a session. You might even look back on today and thank yourself for doing just that.